Hi, I'm Natasha Hopkinson, and I would like to share with you a preview of my current 3 garden lectures. Many of you know me from the Garden Club of America. Currently, I am on the National Committee for the Board of Associates representing Zone 12. For 5 years, I was involved with the New York Central Park Conservancy as the liaison from the Garden Club of America for their centennial project, which financed 2 acres in Central Park at the East 69th Street, 5th Avenue entrance to the park. And it was here in Central Park that I became familiar with Frederick Law Olmsted and his strong belief that people would become better human beings if they were exposed to nature and to parks. I have a degree in landscape design from Radcliffe, and I wrote my thesis on teaching landscape design and horticulture by using multimedia. I also love to cut topiary. This is actually my first lecture, and for 17 years, I went to London to work for a British film company on the souvenir DVD of the Chelsea Flowers Show. We produced it for England's Royal Horticulture Society. The show, which is the major garden event of the year for not only England, but really for the gardening world, takes place on the bank of the Thames River. And the first day after 2 weeks of setup, which is arduous for all of the displays of the gardens that are created, they have a morning of judging, and we do know about the seriousness of judging. And then the evening of that first day is the glorious gala, where you can walk through the gardens with a glass of champagne in your hand and smell the roses, David Austin roses in this case, and listen to lovely chamber music. A profusion of flowers in modern cottage style gardens is a very popular theme in the show. And the more flowers, the flowers bring joy, and the more flowers, the more joy. Garden designers go on to become celebrities and pop stars on English television, which is gardening programs are prime time in England. The Queen opens the show, and England is a nation of garden and gardeners, and the Queen sets the tone for the nation. The other very important people at the show are the young people, the children. And we know today how passionately children feel about the world and the situations in the world. And the Royal Horticulture Society and us as gardeners, I think, all want to be as supportive as possible to young people. Now, gardens have serious health benefits. We're learning that now from all sorts of studies, and water is very important also, not only in making the garden attractive as a design feature, but it is also something that humans respond to. I think we're 85% water. And here you can see not only do we have this center, the heart of the garden as a water feature, but there are beautiful, beautiful plants, and all of the gardens are filled with beautiful plants. Now, my next lecture is about English gardens, or paradise found. And here at Lovins Hall, we see absolutely magnificent topiary. And what is so interesting is that the first recorded gardens in England were built by the Romans, and the Romans did use topiary. Moving on in the history of English garden design, we have the Romantic English landscape gardens, which were very influential, or the most influential gardening movement in the 18th century. Royal gardens have always set a precedent from early on. Queen Victoria's gardens, that was really when catalogs and gardening became published and people gravitated to it. And then we go on to see gardens now like Highgrove, which belongs to Prince Charles, which is not only spectacularly beautiful, but it is organic and it is sustainable. And these are all important things in this world. today. Highgrove actually introduced the concept of meadow gardening to the greater garden world. And we see this a lot now in ecology-based gardens. And this idea actually started with Frederick Law Olmsted. And so my third lecture is Frederick Law Olmsted to the current pandemic gardening resurgence. And as far as American gardens go, with ecology as a design consideration, it was introduced by Frederick Law Olmsted in his first garden in Central Park, and then throughout his career and the subsequent career of his sons and stepsons. And they went on and had a very successful landscape design business doing landscapes, major landscapes all over the United States. And what is so interesting is that Frederick Law Olmsted went to England and he visited Birkenhead Park, and he became familiar with the new garden movement in England. And this new movement believed that if you gave people a chance to be out in nature and for free, so we needed free parks for people, that you would actually better mankind and change the path of human history. Now, for American, a new democracy like America, this was a transformative idea, the idea that rich or poor, you needed gardens and access to parks and nature. Climate change is here, it's real, and water is also a very vital resource in our garden design for climate change. Mediterranean gardens fill a lot of the needs for a design palette. So, inspiring a passion for gardens and an interconnection between nature and each other is my goal. And this could be in formal gardens or in woodlands or even window box gardens. But we all need to start growing and feeling the earth on our hands. And so I hope you will join me in a virtual tour of gardening and gardens and happiness and hope. Thank you very much. Thank you again.